Well, here we are. It's time for the next monthly Q&A. And as always, if you guys want to know when these things are happening, you can either keep your eyes peeled on the community tab, or you guys can join the Discord because they'll let you guys know when things are happening over there immediately. First, we'll start out with the Discord questions. The first one coming from Ank, who asks, favorite food? Cereal. Honestly, I couldn't pick a favorite cereal. It's just straight up cereal. The next question is, best movie franchise in your opinion? Ooh, that's tough. It's hard for me to really pick one because there's a lot of different kinds that I like. Like, my mind gravitates towards, like, superheroes, and in that case, I'm thinking, like, obviously, like, Spider-Man or Batman, but then there's also other movies, like action movies, like Terminator is one of my favorite ones of all time. And there's like crime movies like The Godfather. Obviously, The Godfather trilogy is just like, you know, one of the best pieces of cinema, period. And then you got like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So, oh man, this is tough. Straight up, and there is nostalgia bias to this, I'm just gonna say Star Wars simply for the fact that there's like over a dozen movies in that movie franchise, yet most of them are solid and just consistently good. I know it's very divisive in the Star Wars community as to whether the prequels, the original trilogy, or the sequels are better, or which ones are bad or whatever, but for me personally, there's never been a single Star Wars movie that I've watched that I've disliked. Like, I've genuinely loved all of them. And then his last question, are you gonna go watch Kung Fu Panda 4 in cinemas? See, back in the day, I would have went to the theaters to watch it, but nowadays, I really don't like going out much, so it's probably gonna be one of those things where, like, if it goes to Peacock or something, like, cause, like, they did that with, like, Super Mario Bros., where, like, it was streaming either at the same time or shortly after it went to theaters. That's probably how I'll watch it. Otherwise, I'll just buy it on Blu-ray, because, you know, I still like buying Blu-rays when they come out. Next question comes from Ride Revengeous. Have you ever heard of the Artist Cemetery? Unfortunately, I don't like new music. Like, most new music, like, when it comes to, like, at least, like, trap or rap or whatever, like, I hate most of that stuff, and yeah, that's another artist where I'm just, like, kind of bland, kind of generic, not much to it. Don't get me wrong, there's still some amazing new artists coming out, even in, like, the trap scene or whatever, but for the most part, I don't know, it's all, I've heard it all before. The next question, also from Rod Revengeous, who asks, how often do you draw? I honestly don't draw as much as I used to. When I was a kid, I used to draw, like, all the time. I remember I used to draw, like, VeggieTales all the time. That was for, like, the early episodes of VeggieTales, though, like the Chocolate Bunny one, for example. Larry Boy and the Rumor Weed. Oh, man, dude, I miss VeggieTales. The next question comes from Yudos Guntier, who asks, would you rather tell your younger self how to succeed to your goals, or see your best self in your best moments of your life and learn how you got there? Honestly, I'm trying not to give a cop-out answer here, because truthfully, I would say neither, because I'm the type of guy where it's like, I believe that mistakes need to happen in life for growth to happen, and on the other end of that coin, or on the other side of that coin, I also believe that, you know, like, if there could be scenarios to where you can cheat your way to success, it's just, like, also, like, hey, that's, you know, that's no way to live either. Like, you gotta earn that. You gotta earn that growth or success or whatever. So, truthfully, I would say neither, but if I had to pick between the two, I would probably just go back, because again, I'm not the type of guy that wants to see into, like, if anything, I want to avoid knowing what's happening in the future. That's what keeps life exciting, right? Like, not knowing what's going to happen or working towards something. So if anything, I guess I'd rather go back and be like, hey, dude, stop being stupid. Next question comes from Lilithix, who asks, what is your most anticipated game for 2024? Man, no. Oh gosh, I can't even answer that. I'd have to break that up into categories and genres, because there's so many games I'm excited for. One of the ones I was heavily anticipating was Persona 3 Reload, which just came out the other day, and I've been playing that like crazy. I'd probably say that Indiana Jones game, because there's like a lot of games that I'm anticipating and I just can't wait to play, but that's one where it's like, you know, it's just because it's a first-person game, right? Like, I thought it was gonna be like some third-person Tomb Raider reboot / Uncharted-esque thing, but it's, you know, it's gonna be like a first-person Indiana Jones game. So that's one where it's like, I really want to dive in just to see like how that's gonna play out, how that's gonna work, like how immersive that's gonna be, like playing as Indiana Jones but in first person. Like, I'm so excited for that game. So if I had to pick one, if I had to pick just one, that would probably be the one. That's another thing a lot of people don't know me. I absolutely love Indiana Jones. Raiders, one of my favorite movies, period. Next question comes from Sherry, who asks, what do you aspire to do this year with YouTube, and would you like to shift your content a little bit because of that? Honestly, all I plan to do this year in terms of like content is just keep doing like kind of what I've been doing. I mean, in a sense. So like, really, when I make content or when I make videos, what you guys see is literally just whatever I felt like making that day. So like, some days it's a Q&A like this, some days it's a Call of Duty video, some days it's a Minecraft video, and some days it's those videos like the one I made a couple weeks ago called I Miss Handheld Gaming, where I literally sat there. I recorded for about an hour, but I ended up chopping out a lot of the stuff that was in there, and I think the end video was about half an hour. But I literally just sat there for like half an hour just rambling about some nostalgic stuff. So I will say, yes, there is actually, like, within the coming months, There's a lot of things that I plan where we're gonna definitely be tweaking I guess the variety of the content coming out. So lately in the last couple weeks, things have just kind of been like really consistent, just like a bunch of Call of Duty stuff. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love making those videos and I'll always make those videos. I love Call of Duty. It's like, across the entire franchise, probably my most played game franchise of all time. At least in terms of just like hours sunk into it, because I put like, like literal quadruple digit hours into like each of the Call of Duty games almost. So like seriously, I play those games to death. But at the same time, when it comes to the channel and like just like creatively speaking and just like all the different ideas I have, yeah, I have a lot of stuff planned that's just like even outside of not outside of the realm of gaming, because like, that's just, honestly, I live and breathe gaming. That's just who I am. But it's outside the realm of the typical like face cam and gameplay videos. Like it's more along the lines of like the I Miss handheld gaming video that I made and just like other like retrospective type of content. Like I'm a nostalgic boomer, and basically what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of nostalgic boomer content that I have laid out and planned that's it's going to be really exciting once it does come out. Some of it's going to be like gameplay videos, some of it's going to be more like talking pieces, some of it's going to be more like, I don't want to say retrospective or essay style, but almost. I've done videos like that in the past, so I'm not ruling it out because I actually really do like making videos like that, and I actually kind of do have a couple things planned for something like that, but that's definitely going to be more of like a testing the waters thing. Keep it short and sweet. I'm always thinking of things. I'm always trying to innovate behind the scenes, even when it seems like the content is rather par for the course, per se. There's always things going on in this crazy head of mine that I'm just kind of working on, so yeah, stay tuned, because I do have some fun stuff planned. And then her next question was, do you have any plans that you can share with us? Well, there you go. I just did. The next question comes from my stepdad over in the YouTube comments section, who asks, any idea what your next playthrough game will be like you did for Elden Ring? Okay, so yeah, actually, I was thinking of doing a couple of them. One of my other favorite game franchises of all time is Resident Evil. So I was actually considering doing some Resident Evil playthroughs. I have experimented with Resident Evil videos in the past, and everybody has always loved them, and I've always had a lot of fun making them. So that is one. I'm not sure which one I'd start with. I might just start straight up from the beginning, do the PS1 game. I might start with RE1 Remake. I might dive in with like RE4 and make like a playthrough on that. I mean, at this point, I've literally beaten every single Resident Evil game in the franchise. So for me, it would just be replaying the games, but still just being able to like make videos on it and put videos out on that, I feel like would be a lot of fun. And there's just, always other games coming out in general, so you never know. All it takes is that one game where it's like, hey, you know what, this could make for a good series, and then I do it. It really depends on the game too, because there's a lot of games where it's like, I really want to play them, and they could also make for some good content, but at the same time, when I play a game for the first time that I'm like really looking forward to and I really want to experience, I like doing it on my own time, off camera, and away from like, all the fancy stuff and recording and editing, just so I can like hone in and enjoy the experience without thinking about all the other stuff. I know it probably sounds weird to most people. It's like, but it's not that hard. You just play, record, and talk. But, even that kind of takes away from the experience. Like, there's a difference between getting fully immersed into it, like experience, and then like having to like record and kind of, do all the other fancy stuff around it and having that in the forefront of your mind the whole time, kind of keeping you out of it. It might not make sense to some people, but for people that are also like me, where you play a lot of single player games, like just getting lost in those worlds, it'll make sense to you. The next question comes from my mom, who asks, what are some goals you got to accomplish over the past few years? The 3 goals that I've accomplished over the last couple of years, or I should say 4 goals. Yeah, 4 goals. 1, I finally became YouTube partner, which was like a lifelong dream right there. So that was just like, yeah. The next goal was finally getting to work on my backlog a good bit. I've gotten to beat literal hundreds of games over the last couple of years, so I'm very happy about that. And obviously I'm still going strong with that, because when I'm not working, I'm gaming. The other goal was getting to rebuy a lot of my video game collection or consoles or handhelds or whatever that I just kind of lost over the years, whether it was them getting traded into GameStop or just being sold for one reason or another. I got to rebuy all, or not all, but a lot of the games and handhelds and stuff that I've kind of lost over the years. So that was another goal of mine. And then the last goal that I've accomplished over the last couple of years is cutting out all toxicity from my life, which essentially meant I cut out my entire family and all of my friends, and there's nobody in my life anymore besides my mother and my siblings, but that's okay. The smaller the circle, the better. And if it means that it's literally just your closest family, then okay. And then the last question comes from my sister, who asks, are you going to add more to me and Caleb in your LEGO Fortnite world sometime soon? Yes! I was on there a couple of times when you guys weren't on there, and I was kind of like flying around. I built a little bit. I didn't actually build any like new houses, but I kept working on some of the interior design. Like I made like that one giant brick house or whatever. I did some of the interior design there, and then I was just kind of messing around with some other stuff. But I was planning on getting back on either later today or tomorrow, because I do want to add some stuff. I had some pretty cool ideas for stuff I want to build. And then her last question is, are are you going to get a Funko Pop someday? I wish I could show it to you, but right now it's kind of like buried, or like kind of, it would be hard to move it because it's like part of my bookshelf display. I'll have to put a picture right here, but basically it's like a mini Funko Pop of Spider-Man 2099 from Across the Spider-Verse. That is the only Funko that I have right now, but you know, it's not something that I'm actively looking to like collect a ton of, but I wouldn't be opposed to the idea of getting more and maybe even starting up like a mini collection. If I will get into that, I'm looking at several spots where I could literally just like mount shelves to my wall and just kind of like line up some Funko. But anyways, that is all the questions that I got. So again, if you guys want to know when these things are happening, again, just either keep your eyes peeled on the community tab or join the Discord, because I always let you guys know as soon as literally anything is happening over there. But anyway, as always, massive shout out, thank you to all the Patrons and channel members, thank you to all in the low baller tier, and a big shout out, thank you to all in the mid baller tier, Mellow asking, but daddy, my name, the biggest shout out, thank you to all in the G tier, right event, Sunlight Cheese Code. Thank you guys so much, you guys are literal legends. I love you. Thank you guys for watching. Have an amazing day. Stay beautiful. I love you all. Peace.